Start. There you go. Music off. And we are live. So how are you
Awesome.
today?
I'm good. I'm good. A lot of exciting things happening. How are you?
I'm very good too. I'm very excited about this week. I'm very excited to see what the team and especially the developers are cooking up and have been cooking up. So yeah, it's great to talk to you and get live information straight from the source. So shall we jump right in?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I understand that last week on Friday on the Twitter VC or Twitter Spaces, you were showcasing some MEV transactions, and you were not able to show that on screen share or any kind of sharing because I mean Twitter doesn't give that possibility. So we basically decided to do it in a similar manner today on Telegram in order for you to be able to share with your screen and show and walk us through um, the different transactions and basically show again what the MEV is capable of right now, as of right now.
Yes, that's right. So there were a couple of things on Twitter Spaces. It's impossible to share your screen, but also if I would mention that right now I would be performing a transaction that would be targeted with the MEV bot that would open up the opportunity for people to spam transactions right there and basically mess with that a little bit, and also sharing screen and performing those transactions opens up a little bit of other security risk as well. But I will be sharing my screen and uh, walk through the transactions that have been performed. I've done it a demo before, recorded my screen for that. We can showcase it, and then I take those exact transactions and walk through them step by step.
Perfect. Love it. Let's do it.
Awesome. Would you like to start to share the video of
Yes,
those
yes, let
specific?
me do that. I want to make sure that the recording I'm having is recording video and audio. Is that, I guess that's automatic, right? Yeah, I guess so. Okay, I'm going to share the video right now. 1 second. You just keep talking. I need a moment.
All right.
Actually,
So, in addition to walking through those specific transactions, I'll show the notification that we get on that transaction as well. We have notification right now set up for Discord, but we'll be transitioning that to Telegram at some point. Um, but you'll see I've searched the specific block, and you'll see the gas expenditure, the fee, for instance, and the cost of the transaction and the profit. And the profit will be similar to what's sent to the user.
yeah, so the issue that I'm having right now, I'm trying to forward. I don't want to just forward this video because I kind of want to not dox the person that made the video, so I'm downloading the video. That's why I'm taking a moment. But maybe you can just share your screen and start doing it, and as soon as I have downloaded it, I'm going to share it in the Telegram group, okay?
Sure, I'll go through the transactions that I've performed in the video. Just 1 second.
Let's do that. And
Sure.
I just want to shout out to our beloved KOLs and our beloved community that has come here today to support us and listen to everyone. Great to have you, Rich Abe, CRG, Pope. Rio is here, great team member, wonderful people. Um, Sarah, I love your data analysis work. It's just out of my mind how great your data comes in and gives all these like insights that most people would never be aware of. Um, yeah, thanks everybody for being here. We should be on it in a moment.
Absolutely. Want me to share my screen right
Yeah,
now?
go
Because
ahead and share your
yeah.
screen. Yes, 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 absolutely.
All right, I'll go through the exact transactions I'll be going through in the video, but just walk through them slowly. So the video would be for people that would have missed this specific voices. Let's start with this one right here. So this transaction is when I first approved the Mars tokens. See, approved the Mars token to the contract address. This is the MEV contract address. It ends with B091. We approved the spending of Mars tokens. This is our testing wallet. You'll see in the video that this one's connected in the Telegram bot as well. And um, this is where the current balance of the Mars token was, and it approved it to the SandoSpot contract. So if we go to the contract address right here, I'll click on this. This is our current MEV contract address, and this is where you see the transactions as well. So this in this list is the Mars example. You can find in that list right there. So if we go to the first transaction, the most important thing to note that it's in the same block. You'll need to remember the block number right here, 2574, because for a MEV transaction, it's very important that they happen in the same block. I have seen other examples of these MEV examples, and they weren't in the same block. There were a couple of blocks apart, etc., but that doesn't classify as a safe or real MEV transaction. So here you'll see that it spotted an opportunity and it swaps the balance. It sells the balance of Mars tokens for 0.378 ETH, and you'll see that the balance right here is transferred from the F257 address, which is the user testing address, and it transfers it to the MEV contract address. After that, the MEV contract address right here, excuse me, sells it for 0.37 ETH. And this is at the transaction fee of $16. Now, if we go to the background transaction, remind 2574 is the block number right here. This is the same block number, 2574. This is the background transaction, and it swaps less ETH, 0.29. It sold it for 0.37, 0.29 for the same amount of Mars tokens. And this is what happens right here. The contract address sells or buys the tokens for 0.29 ETH, the exact same amount of tokens. And next one in these two, it sends the tokens, transfers the tokens back to the user address, F257, and also transferred the wrapped Ethereum profit to the user right here. So, and this background transaction, we have specific parameters or settings for profit margins. And in this setting, this was about a transaction fee of $87. And that's already extracted. So this is net profit for this example. Now, let's see if I can change this a bit. I'll reshare my screen so I can put a different example on there as well. Just give me 1 second.
Sure, I'm gonna hop in here and say something. Actually, I'm gonna give everybody 2.5 minutes. I think that's how long the video is. 3 minutes. Let's take a 3-minute break from us talking, and you guys go ahead and watch this video, and then we come back and we continue this conversation, because I think it's good for everyone to actually watch this video, because you get to see the Telegram bot working on one side, and then you get to see the transactions going through on the chart on the other side, and you get a full idea of what the first version And obviously this is just a very raw version of what the product will be like, but you get a first idea of what the product will do for you in the beginning, and then we start talking about it. So let's just take a 3-minute break. I'm going to play a little music in the background, and you can just go ahead and listen, watch the video, and then we talk about it.
Awesome.
All right, so back at it. I think that was a good time. Everybody got to see what it's like. PT, are you there?
Awesome. So shall I reshare my screen?
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
I'll reshare. All right. So this is the notification of that specific transaction bundle. So you see here, this is the transaction hash of the uh, spotted opportunity, and it's a single MEV transaction. I'm sure some people have found some multi combinations. That way, the notification would be say here that it's a multi. Which block is it? We have a timestamp for when it is spotted and when we've sent the bundle. So we have a speed in how much time it took before us to send to analyze the opportunity and send the bundle right here. And the direction Mars token for Rep Ethereum. That's the direction. And if we combine it with any sniper transaction. This is the front run, the first one, where we bought or sold the tokens. See how much gas units it cost, what the base fee was, and how many priority fees. We do not use priority fees on the front run. We put our priority fees in the back run. And what the cost of this transaction was. So it sold the Mars tokens, and this was the return on that. If we take the background transaction, you see how much gas units this cost, what the base fee was, and the entire max fee. So the priority fee over here was in the background transaction. What the cost was of that specific transaction, and this is purely based on what we set as parameters of how much potential profit we want to offer to the users, so to the block builders. So this can be tweaked over time as we get more competitive with larger bundles and more transactions. And you see what it swaps. It swaps back the Rep Ethereum to Mars. This was the current Rep Ethereum balance of the user, and it increased to 0.259 Rep Ethereum. The total revenue, the cost, and the profit of this specific transaction. And I think if I change it to this, you can, I should have showed this actually. You can compare this with the block over here, with this block. And this is the background actually. So you see the profit right here, which coincides with this, the amount of tokens traded. And you'll see the total gas price, 305 to 305 as well, click to show more. And it shows how many gas units were spent, 120, 32, 176, which is the same here for the background transaction.
So let me ask you this. The token, after this whole transaction, I still have that token, the Mars token, right?
Yes, the token gets returned. So yeah, exactly.
So I buy the token back, but what if I want to not buy the token back? If I basically want to sell before someone else sells and then be done with the transaction, not buy it back.
That's not in our current system. Our system is based on MEV, and that it basically buys back the token. So what you're referring to is actually like generalized front running, and you spot a transaction and you just front run it and do just a single side. That will be just normal front running as is in other sniper bots as well. So that will be one of the features.
Okay. So normally when I have Maestro open, for instance, if I want to front run someone, I need to know who to front run. I need to have that address, right? In this case, I can just I could just say I want to front run whenever there's a MEV opportunity, and then it's kind of like makes it automatic for me, right?
Yes. So it is, you just buy the token, approve it, and this happens automatically. And at any given point, you're free to sell your tokens, trade out of your tokens, buy more, etc. So you just have to approve the expenditure to.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I was talking with some friends this morning, and I was saying, so essentially this opens up a whole new realm of trading ability or possibilities or opportunities that just were not open before. So let's say before I always was looking for something that appreciates in price, but now I can look for something that is trading in consolidation sidewards, because I don't really need the price to appreciate. I just don't want it to dump on me. So I look for something that has community and so forth, and keeps the price somewhat stable. And then I say, okay, those tokens I want to enter into my math transactions, and then I wait until maybe I have my initials out, or even like doubled my initials with the MVV, and then I sell the token and move on with my money. That's a whole nother level of trading, which just sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, I can't wait to get my hands on it and try it out myself. I think there's a lot of opportunities out there.
Yeah, it, I totally agree. And that's true. It lowers your cost basis. And sometimes in my mind, I like to compare it like with selling options, for instance. If you sell options, you can make money when if the price stays the same, um, or goes one direction. So you're protected for one directional, and if price remains the same. And this is a bit similar as well. So you can still make money if the price remains the same, like you mentioned, or goes up in this instance. Yeah, definitely.
Sounds pretty exciting to me. Sounds really exciting to me. So I saw this in this video that it's actually working. I mean, for you, it's working. You're testing it right now. That's very exciting. So, it's probably just a matter of whatever time until people can get their hands on. So I mean, I don't want to put you in a corner and say, okay, when. I understand there's a whole, bunch of testing that needs to go into this until people can safely use it. But this is very exciting to actually not only see you performing the transactions like we saw on Friday, but also see the bot in parallel and see the bot working, in Telegram and how it actually is executed and functions. That's very exciting to me.
Yeah, I agree. And we'll be ramping up testing with multiple tokens as well. I think we've discussed that we would fund the MEV contract to target more opportunities, and also on the token side as well. So we'll be ramping up our testing procedures in combination with other features that we're working on this week.
Perfect. Perfect. So maybe you could give us a little rundown of what's happening on product side, on development side for this week. So everybody's kind of on one page of, what to expect and what's happening in the background. I think, is a great way of creating transparency.
Yeah, I agree. So multiple things are happening in parallel. I think I mentioned in the earlier VC that we have multiple development tracks ongoing. Um, one of which is the web UI, for instance, that's still being worked on by a team. Um, the Telegram bot is being expanded and improved. Uh, Meanwhile, we're also working on the router contract. I've received some internal testing uh, reports on our router contract, so I think we'll be pushing that in development side as well. We've been testing with the I think marketception a little bit. I won't go into too many details, but we'll be announcing that soon as well. What that exactly is, what it does, and how it will work, and combinations of transactions as well. Multi sandwich transactions we will be optimizing. Um, Different searcher addresses that we can use to avoid some anti MEV in the contract. For instance, if there are transfer delays, different searcher addresses help with that. Um, we'll be starting a dust collection process to improve on to collect some dust, and it improves with gas efficiency of the first transaction. So there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of development going on, and we'll be ticking off the things one by one.
Maybe
data.
explain the dust collection process a little bit. What does that mean? What does that entail?
So um, if you perform a transaction, in especially in on this contract, if you have exact zero of a token, it costs more gas than compared to if you have dust on the contract. For instance, if it's 0.0001, it's worthless, for instance, but it's non-zero. So if it's non-zero, it saves on a lot of gas units for those transactions. And I think a good example is if you go to our contract address, you will see a lot of similar tokens that are being traded for these opportunities. And that's due because we have gas of those tokens on the contract. For instance, you see a lot of paid transactions, and we can get those transactions because we have dust on the contract. So getting dust on our contract saves it provides us with some gas efficiency and helps us to target more opportunities. So that's a fairly important point for us.
Interesting. Nice. Nice. When I heard dust collection process, I also thought, okay, let's say, I have a bunch of tokens that I have in my that I did the MEVs on and I have in my wallet, and at some point I just want to press one button and sell them all, um, and collect that dust and move on. I thought that's what that whole story was about, but that was just my fantasy. I mean, it would be a cool feature to have,
Would be a cool
nevertheless.
feature to have, definitely.
No. So let's open the space for, I mean, everybody watched the video that is here. Let's open a space to see if anybody has questions about it and would like to, spend a few minutes with the dev directly. We can do that for like 5-10 minutes if anybody has questions. But you have to be fast, right? So if you want to speak up, and then, we move on. Everybody's time is kind of expensive. All right, I guess all questions are answered for right now. So tomorrow we want to do a Twitter space where we will go further into details about the product and the product features that are being planned and will be coming up. So I hope to see you there, and thanks for joining today. Have a wonderful evening, day, wherever you are. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Mavic, baby.